everybody, it's Monday night and Sophia and I are live rocking and rolling. Sophia,
hello.
Brand new theme song.
Brand new.
What do you think?
New. I freaking love it. It's perfect.
I know. I gotta thank David Losh for that. I mean, he was rocking and rolling, and he did that theme song for us. I know. He just texted me and said, "Hey, dude, what do you think of this?" And I'm like, "Dude, that's just amazing." That's the second. I mean, our original theme song was done by High Adventure, and Jeremy and I had that. We were using it for a while. Then we did the one with all the sound effects and everything, the one that you danced to. And then with this one, it was just amazing. And then we switched over to a new streaming platform from the StreamYard to this new one here. So hopefully this works.
I'm not seeing any comments on my end.
I know we're working. Oh, chats. Here you go. Let's see. What do we got? We got this.
Oh, yes. Okay.
All right. We got you.
So I can't click them. No.
Oh, we're going to have to work on that.
Okay.
We're going to have to work on that so you can see it, so you can click them like you did on the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, what's going on? We got a big weekend this weekend. Northeast Comic-Con. Angrygeeks are going to be there. OG Angrygeeks are going to be there. Jeremy's going to be in tow with us.
Yay.
Rocking and rolling. I didn't call him today. He's probably worried about me. I'll be looking for some stuff. We already told the vendors what Jeremy's looking for. You and I got to do some special filming. But who's waving? Oh, Lord Mangoat's in the house.
Mango.
There you go. There he is. We're going to do some special filming at that convention.
Yes.
Yes. Are you? What are you looking for to buy?
All the things. Just kidding.
Hey, I got all the things here in the Geek Lair. Now I got the green screen behind me, but we're going to do a special. I was talking to Rose. You got to come to the Geek Lair because we got to get footage of you in the lair.
Yes.
Hanging out. So yeah, we have to get you down here.
I'm going to dingleberry every figurine. I'm just kidding.
No, most of them. No, a lot of them are out of the package. A lot of them are in the package. You're not going to dingleberry.
I'm not going to touch
thing in the Geek Lair.
I'm kidding.
No. I got a cowboy hat coming to you too.
I'm excited. Jason. Yes. Hello, Jason.
Hello. We'll get used to this. Anyway, before we go, any unboxing right now? I know you haven't eaten.
I got this the other day. Look how cute this is. It's an Arizona iced tea plushie.
What? You got that the other day?
Uh-huh.
What possessed you to buy? What possessed you to buy it?
Advertisement. They said, "Oh, we're having a sale. You might want to get this." And then, I jumped on it. It's so cute.
Well, that's the way. Okay. And I speak of the devil, Brother Jeremy, in the house, right there. Where's this?
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien.
Sorry, I didn't call you today, brother, and because it was where's the soundboard?
I have the soundboard, but I don't know if it's connected. Let me try.
All right.
Where
I don't see his no, that's not Jeremy's intro, but that's okay. So all right. So Lord Mango says Sophia will dingleberry everything in the lair. Yes, I know. You're gonna come here and dingleberry Rose.
Okay. If she's down, did you tell her what it means?
Of course she will be.
Or she's gonna be scared. She's gonna be traumatized.
All right, so without further ado, we're gonna bring in this special cat right now. This is a special night for everybody. We got a new platform we're streaming on, and this guy, Sophia, you're gonna ask the first question because the little birdie told you something about our guest. So we're gonna bring in Pierre-Alexandre, the creator of Sunder. Hello, sir. How are you?
How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you guys doing?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, we're rocking and rolling. It's a Monday night. This is our vibe. This is the jobs that we work for all week long. We're getting ready for a con. And
are you asking the question?
Yeah, go ahead.
A little birdie told me this is your very first podcast.
It sure is. Very, very first.
And you got thrown to the fire, my friend.
Lucky it's going to be little.
Might as well start big.
Oh, thank you very much. Wow. Usually we say you were with the rest. Now you're with the best, but no, now it's going to suck. My God, we can't
I'll
say
let
that.
you know from now.
Why? Because now he's going to go to other people and think that they're better. Man, that's just bad.
We're awesome.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So this is your first podcast, first comic book. You were a storyboard creator for animation. What else did you do and what brought you into the comic book realm?
Well, I've done comic books my whole life. I actually released a comic book back in 2000, a floppy called Shard. I self-published the whole thing myself, and I sold it all. And that went actually quite well, but the partner that I had doing the book kind of like didn't want to do this anymore, so we kind of stopped. And then afterwards, tried a few times to get back into comics, but I just kind of got sucked into animation and then doing storyboards, which is honestly very closely related to comic books in that sense. So I kind of worked my way there. And then what brought me back is I was working on a feature film, the Addams Family cartoon, and traveling on a train from my home to work every morning. I just start doodling, and then I had this character that just sort of popped up in my sketchbook, and I kind of like kept on playing around with it. And while I was working on the movie, I kind of got this idea a little bit more worked out, and I was like, oh, you know what? Let's just do a comic. It's been a long time. I like, mind you, I've got like drawers full of comics that I've done for myself, and nobody has ever seen it. But this one, I was just like, oh yeah, this sounds like a lot of fun. Let's do it. I did a 32-page comic book, and then from that point, like it, I had enough fun doing this after it was almost like 18 years. It was 2000 when I did my first book. So I had so much fun doing that. So I'm like, oh yeah, let's keep going. And that's pretty much how I got back into doing comics.
What's your biggest influences? I mean, with the animation style and your style of work, I see a lot, and I want to see if I can nail it on the head. Who is your biggest influences in style wise?
You want to take a guess first?
Well, I see a lot of Bone. A lot of
yeah.
lot.
I went to Fan Expo Vancouver last weekend because I'm in Vancouver, and we were actually able to sell our first pre-release copies, and so many people were giving me that. It's like, oh, did you work on Bone? Did you do this?
Dude, I the second we got the stuff, I was like, this reminds me. I mean, it's like uncanny.
Right.
Uncanny.
Well, yeah. I started very early on reading comics, and I used to read a lot of European comics like the Asterix, and like all of those kind of like European comics. So they do have a bit of a more cartoony feel to them to begin with. But then as I grew older, I got into comics, and like Image really broke out, I think, when I started reading comics. So I got into Pit, Savage Dragon, all of these big ones, Wildcats, and so I kind of like delved deeper into it and could just like, it went into like full on into comics. And so for a long time, my style of drawing was very mixed between the two, because I had started, like, I think I was 9 years old when I started drawing, and I kind of like copied European comics. So that style of like cartoony definitely dates back from a long time. And then as I went older, like it's sort of like kind of mixed between the two. And then I found Bone, which was this perfect mix of the two already, which had this. That's what I think that's what I liked a lot about Bone, and I think that's really one nice comparison for the book is that what I loved about Bone is its simplicity at face value. You look at it, it looks fairly simple, looks funny and everything, but then the more you get into the story, it gets so much bigger, so much more involved, a lot deeper, sometimes even dark, and it's a very rich world that Jeff Smith has been able to create with that, and that's something that I gravitated a lot towards. So I'm really hoping that that aspect of it, even though like it does have sort of like feels of it, but I'm hoping that that also translates in the story throughout going forward.
Well, just by the artwork alone, brother. I mean, you nailed it.
I want to see the artwork. Can I see?
Oh, okay.
Can we see the artwork?
Yeah, because you have a lot of questions about that. Okay.
Yes. I love this. I love it.
All right, Sophia, you got the floor. Go ahead.
Oh. What can you tell us about this right here? What's going on?
This page is part of like sort of the prologue of book one. It's a bit of a glimpse into the past of the main story.
Oh.
And, so the main guy on top is our big bad villain Moloch, who's now fighting somebody who's got this book in his hand, and he's protecting it from him because Moloch wants that book really badly.
Right. Okay. Cool. Cute.
That's our main character, Zeek.
Is he a goat?
He is, yeah.
Okay.
That's funny because for a long time, the name that he had was Goat Boy.
Okay.
And so for the longest time, that's what it was. And then at some point, like friends of mine were like, it's a bit close to this like big red detective guy that we keep seeing everywhere. Maybe you should change the name. So I'm like, I'm not going to rip off Hellboy too much, even though it doesn't look like it. I better try to find a better name for it. So,
no, well, very cool.
This is one part in the book. This is the first time we see Moloch in current times.
All right, very cool. What's going on here?
What's going on here? This is when Zeek has finally left on his big adventure.
Okay.
So this is a black and white version of the final colored page.
All right, so he's like on an adventure. Very cool.
Yeah, he's on his adventure. This is also part of the prologue at the beginning, just before Moloch actually arrives and tears a big hole in that castle. Tries to get the book.
Ooh.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a page from later on. Once he's met his two companions, Imani and Mouse, and they're a bit further along in their adventure. So basically, just so that it's a bit easier, the main story of the book is Zeek lives in a monastery. He's been living there his whole life. He's an orphan, and he takes care of the library at the monastery. And then one day he finds a book that doesn't belong, and somehow it attaches itself to him through magical means, and that's what sends him on an adventure to find the rightful owner of the book.
Okay.
Little does he know that Moloch, the big bad, has actually been looking for that book for a long time. And now that it's resurfaced, he's on the prowl to go get it.
Oh, all right. Sounds fun.
That's the porter, the first friend that he meets on his way into the nearby village, the main hub of the area.
Okay.
This is another page from the beginning of it, when before he's found out about anything, we just get to see a little bit of him and in his world, he built himself a little tree house where he goes and just hangs out.
Very
See,
cool.
I don't know about you, Sophia, and we got chat questions coming up. But Pierre, I'm torn between the color and the black and white. I mean, either way, this is just breathtaking.
Well, thank you very much. Initially, when I started having conversations with Mad Cave, because when I pitched the book itself, I brought a lot of those pages into the pitch package, and this is the book that he actually finds. I brought a lot of those pages into the pitch package, and the initial conversations were, well, do we want to release this as a black and white book? And then we sort of decided upon doing color, simply because, as you mentioned, this is my first comic book. I'm not much of a known quantity, so in order to kind of appeal to the biggest audience, we just decided, let's go for color. However, I am pushing very strongly to release a black and white version of this.
The detail is very,
I know.
very
I
nice.
mean, look at this. This is now. Is that the treehouse, Sophia? I'm
That is
sorry.
the
This is
treehouse.
your gig, but this is just beautiful.
Thank you very much. Yeah, there's a lot of work involved. It's all like ink, brushes, and ink wash going on into it. So I do think personally that it would do a great black and white. Like I collect a lot of those, like, like these artist edition books.
Mhm.
It's black and white versions, like basically the way that it was once it was scanned. So ideally, that's what I would like to do with it. We'll see. We'll see how well the book goes from the start, and then if there's enough, if people are interested enough, then I'm sure that Mad Cave would be more than happy to do that.
Yes, it's
definitely a conversation.
Really cool.
This is a little bit after the page that you showed earlier, where the sorcerer bird guy actually made the book disappear, and that made Moloch a bit mad. So
yeah, he looks angry.
Yeah.
More
It's
adventures.
the beginning of when he just goes on his adventure.
Okay, so let's
Cool.
see. Ben has a comment. Was looking for the book. I was looking for the book, kind of the Thundercats inspiration. Right? Was the looking for the book idea?
Oh,
okay, I got it.
Thundercats was definitely something that I watched when I was a kid. Loved Thundercats. So there's definitely, like, I mean, this book is just something that it's everything that I love. It's fantasy, it's adventure, it's got monsters in it because I love monsters. Huge fan of horror and all those big monster movies. So everything that I could put in there to just make myself happy and have fun doing it. Bunch of worlds. We're going into space. It's got everything.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah.
Seems like a really fun comic to read.
Well, I hope so.
How long was it to take from page to realization, from your noggin to page to realization?
Do you mean the volume 1 itself, or like from beginning?
Yeah.
So the book itself.
Well, actually, let's do the whole thing.
Okay.
And so, then we have another. Oh my God, this will be the 4th one in a row. Okay, we'll get the guy's question in a second.
So the story itself, like I said, kind of started when I started drawing the character in my sketchbook, and then at some point I sort of refined it. I posted it online a few times, and then people were like, "Oh, this is a cool character. I'd love to hear stories about this character." So that kind of got me thinking, like, all right, what kind of story would this character live in? And so as I kind of like changed the name to want to give it a better name, I was like, all right, so what is his whole life? Where does he live? What does he do? And from that point, that was pretty much, I want to say 2018 when I started like thinking about the whole story of it. And then at that point, when I was working on the feature film, I dig a little bit deeper into trying to figure it out. And then I came up with the ending of that book, the whole story arc of what this story would be. So once I had that, I'm like, okay, that's actually something that I'd be really interested in working on. So fast forward a bunch years, I had actually pitched that 32-page book to Mad Cave Mark Irwin, I think in 2022 at the Emerald City Comic-Con. And he was interested, but at that point, they didn't really want to go for it for whatever reason, probably because just it wasn't fully fleshed out enough. And then in 2023, I really put my heels down and I'm like, okay, let's do a proper pitch, do it well, and rewrote the whole thing, packaged it properly, and sent those pages that I had done, which the first time around they weren't ink washed. They were just like black and white. So I ink washed everything and I'm like, this is what I want to do with it. And then from that point, I sent it back to Mad Cave, and Mad Cave was interested in publishing it. And then once we started working on it, so it's 170 pages, volume 1.
Wow.
And it took about 10 months to do all the pages.
Wow.
Mind you, the story was done because I've written the story pretty much. Well, I've written the whole story. I know everything, where I'm going, and I know all the beats. As I went into it, it kind of grew a little bit bigger as I was doing it. But yeah, it took about 10 months to do all the pages. And then, so we started back in November 2023 and finished October 31st is when it went to print.
Nice.
So
up on the screen
total.
Man, up on the screen right now is the link to Mad Cave Studios, where you can get pre-order volume 1 paperback. Head on over there right now and get that link. Buy the book. It looks amazing.
Thank you very much. It's also available pre-orders on Amazon, Simon & Schuster. All the bookstores are going to pretty much have it. So, yeah, anywhere you buy your books. It's actually last week, I think it was finally available for pre-order for local comic stores as well. So now it's available everywhere.
All right, before we get to, I know the question's going to come up. Sophia knows this question's going to come up. And before we get to Guy's question.
No, there's no dingleberries in it.
Yeah. Before that question, too. A lot of our listeners love their books signed. They love them autographed. How can they get one from you?
Well, if you're going to Emerald City next weekend, I'll be there. Okay. And I think we will definitely have some copies in advance that we're able to sell, because the book is coming out May 6th.
Okay.
So right now we've been able to get some advanced copies, so we're going to be having those. Past that, if there's anybody in the Vancouver area, I'm going to be doing a bunch of book signings in the area throughout the month of May when it comes out, and possibly in June as well. And I've been kind of thinking about a way to do it, shipping copies, signed copies. Not too sure exactly how to do it, because like I said, this is my very first foray into.
Well, I know a guy. I know a guy. All you got to do, get a P.O. box, have the people buy the book, Mad Cave Studios. They ship those books to you via the P.O. box, flat, just like Stan Lee did back in the day, and we'll get to that with the question of the week. Then what they could do is you could sign that book, and then you send it back to them.
Oh, perfect.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you do it. That's
More
how
than
you
likely,
do
I'll
it.
be able to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Guy wants to know, when is Sophia gonna make a cameo in one of your comics?
Guy, I can't be in every single comic, bro.
I know, but it's like so far you're gonna be in every single comic.
Oh my gosh.
I do have a character that kind of looks like you, though.
Oh, really?
Like,
With,
yeah,
like the horns and stuff?
she doesn't have horns,
No.
but the facial features
Oh,
kind of
really?
look similar. I gotta say.
Interesting. I want to see.
Really? I
Yeah.
was good. Okay, so is it? Elaborate on that,
Is it a
because
spoiler?
most of your, yeah, no. Can you elaborate on how what type of character is it? I'm interested
the
now.
character that looks like she's an apothecary. Once Zeke gets into town, he's got to find the like I said, the owner of the book, and then the first thing that the abbot tells him to go look for at the village is the apothecary, who actually knows a lot of people. He's basically the medicine man of the village, so he does meet a lot of people, and he remembers he was very good friends with the abbot, who remembers him telling him about some guy who used to buy these ingredients that look a lot like stuff that you'd use for alchemy and sort of like magic stuff. So he sends him out to look for that. And once he gets there, the man who used to take care of the apothecary isn't there anymore. His granddaughter is actually the one running it. Her name's Valencia, and she's actually the girl who takes care of it. At first, she's not too impressed with Zeke, and she kind of turns him around. But then, after a few awkward conversations, she finally decides to go to help him and try to see if there's any records of that man. So,
Have you ever did that before? Have you ever drew a character and then come across someone and say, "You look like my character"? Have you ever did that before?
not really. No, that's a first. But
This is a night of first time on the podcast, and now
first for everything.
I'm interested in seeing this character for sure. So maybe you can send it over through Melissa. I would love to see.
I will. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I would love to see it.
But I mean, yeah, this book, the story is pretty big, pretty involved. There's definitely so many characters. I mean, Lewis, you could show up as a character at some point. Who knows?
There you go. See?
Okay, I have a question. Being a former animator,
I'm still an animator.
Okay, you're still. Pardon me. Pardon me. Being an animator.
Mm-hmm.
When is this going to become animated? Yes. When?
Let's just say that I've worked for pretty much every studio in Vancouver. Okay. So I have connections everywhere. So depending on how well it does, like you said, like I am still an animator. So like, it's not like I've made this my day job.
Yep.
It would be lots of fun, but until that happens.
No disrespect meant by that.
Huh?
No disrespect saying you used to be an animator.
No. It's not a disrespectful thing at all. I'd love to just do comics for a living, honestly.
Okay.
But yeah, until that happens, I don't know if that's ever going to come. But funny enough, a friend of mine who actually works with me on the book helps me out with the story. The first thing that he said when I showed it to him, some pages, he's like, "Oh, I'd love to work on the animated version of that." So that's probably the first thing that most people, a lot of friends that I have in the animation industry, that's the first thing they say is like, "Oh, whenever you turn this into a feature film or like a TV series, I want to work on it."
That's okay.
I have a question. Is that a Cintiq Wacom right next to you?
Sure is.
I thought so. I have one too, but I don't use it, and I should.
You should. Yeah, you definitely should. It's great.
Speaking of buddies, pardon the pun. speaking of friends, another one of the Angrygeeks friends actually worked on the book with you, Buddy Bedoy.
Yeah, he did. Amazing
Yes.
letters.
Oh,
Once I received the letters from him, I was just floored. It's for me, it was the first time that the actual the whole book came to life. Because I've seen the whole process, doing the whole art and everything, and saw the colors for a while. But then once the actual bubbles and letters came up, I think I saw it in the morning in my emails, and I looked at it, and I think for a good 20 minutes I had a smile on my face. I was so happy to see this. He did such a great job.
yeah, Buddy's a great guy.
Yeah. And then
Okay,
we worked on it a little bit. We kind of tweaked the bubbles, taking out the outline and everything to kind of make it a little bit different, a little bit more its own thing. And he was on board with everything. He was just coming up with such great stuff. Yeah.
All right, let's get back to the animated version of this, which I
Right.
really hope it does.
Well, thanks. That's good. That's really good to know because I don't. You always have these grand ideas and these you're always really hoping that things go well, and knock on wood, so far everybody that's gotten the book and has been able to see it had amazing reactions to it. They really liked it. A lot of people said that it brought them back to their days when they were reading Bone, so definitely a lot of that. But yeah, you can't help but dream a little bit, as much as you try to be safe about things. I mean, just the fact that I work in animation, it's sort of like it's a no-brainer.
Exactly. I mean, seeing what I was privileged to see, I fell in love with the project immediately. I've already told you immediately. I was saw it. I'm like, this is Bone. This is fantastic. Knowing
it didn't work so well for Bone though. They had a Netflix series that actually didn't end up happening, which that would have been amazing.
Yes, it would have been. But however, hopefully it would work for you.
Yeah.
Creator owned. Hopefully you would be, of course, in charge of everything. You'll be working on the project. Everything would be ready to go. Who would your animation team be?
Oh, I would hire all my friends.
Okay. Who is your choice? The voice, Zeek. Who's your?
That's a tough one. Wow. I never actually thought about what his voice would sound like.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's one of the questions that I always ask. Is when we have a creator, whose voice do you hear in your head when you're doing the dialogue? And Sophia's thinking. Sophia's thinking right now. Sophia, when you look at Zeek, okay, whose voice do you see? Oh, hear rather. Excuse me.
Like a voice actor, or how would I describe the voice sounding?
I would either or.
It'd be kind of I don't know how old he is, but he looks like he's a little bit young. So I'd say probably higher pitched, bubbly, curiosity type of. I know Link in Zelda doesn't talk, but I pictured that kind of a voice. When he goes, you can hear Link when he goes, yeah, maybe similar to that kind of a voice, if that makes sense.
That's actually a pretty good Link as a reference is actually a pretty spot on. I think that makes a lot of sense. I was just trying to think about it, and I think because he's so insecure, because he's never been out into he's not insecure because he's very adventurous. He wants adventure, but because he's never
experienced.
Yeah, he's never been out into the world, so he's kind of figuring out the world. And I think the first name that came to my head was Michael Cera.
I don't think I know
really
from Arrested Development and Superbad and stuff. Just that little timid kind of voice. I think he's getting a bit old, so he would probably need to have a bit of a younger sort of voice, but that's sort of like a little bit timid kind of aspect to it.
I could, yeah. No, his voice. I mean, definitely from if he goes back to the Scott Pilgrim days, definitely.
Yeah, probably more towards that era. Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, I don't
know. No. I mean,
I'd take Brad Pitt. You know, like if he wants to voice it, who cares? That'll bring butts into seats.
Definitely. Okay, so all right, so by saying butts to seats, that would be animated feature film. So there goes my next question. I was going to say animated series or animated feature film.
Yeah, it's I love feature films, so like the first would be probably that. However, the length of the story itself probably would lend itself a lot better for TV series.
That's what I was thinking.
There's a lot of really great TV series that have been done, like the Castlevania series is really great for that kind of stuff. And I mean, it does lend itself a little bit into the anime field as well, which has like these long running series as well. So I think probably for that, a TV series would be better adapted to it, because that's actually the big thing that I've wanted to do with this story, is that when I started doing it, I was like, okay, well, I don't know if it's going to get picked up. I don't know if anybody is going to read it at all or anything. But if I'm going to be doing a book, I want to do it the way I want. And by doing that, I want to do, I want to go as long as I want to. I don't want to just do like these little short thing, truncate the story to just make it fit into like 22 pages or whatever, which is also the reason why the first book is 170 pages, because I started off about 100-ish pages, but then as it went on, the character developed, and it was like, well, no, he actually needs to go through this emotional path, and it needs to have this happening instead. So instead of being like, well, let's just cram it into one page, let's have the character go into 3-4 pages of that. And that's also my animation background. A lot of it, I wanted to have the character have emotions. I wanted to see the emotions. A lot of times you'll see, like in just like comic books, they'll, you'll have the character and then like a long amount of bubbles or like a lot amount of text, and the character doesn't really change his facial emotions at all. I wanted to be able to tell that story with facial emotions. I wanted the character to have, like, if you don't see the bubbles, if you don't read the bubbles, you can still flip through the book and understand the story as is. I even thought at some point just doing it like a fully no dialogue book, but
well, you do show that. We're going to go back to some of the pages in 1 second, but Ben says, I really want to say Aaron, but Aaron Tuzmuki from Full Metal Alchemist. And Sophia, what is it with your fanboys? Lord Virgo says, who would Sophia voice in the animated version?
I've said it before.
All right, there you go. So let's go back. Now, I believe it was this one. Look at the facial expressions here.
Definitely confusion.
Yes, and we have one other page. The facial, I think is this one. No, I can't. Pages. One other page where the facial expressions are just right down here on the bottom.
Yeah, he looks scared, and then this dude looks like he's ready to fight.
Yeah, you're definitely have the facial expressions there. You're showing them very, dude. You nailed it. This is magic in a bottle. And if no one goes and just pre-orders this book or brings it to their LLC, goes to their LLC and says, "Hey, we want this book now," they're absolutely insane. So once again, here is the link. Go to Mad Cave. Get it now, because go to Amazon. Go wherever you have to. If you're a fan of Bone, I'm going to dare say Dark Crystal, any of those things, pick this book up.
Yeah, there's a lot of inspiration.
Yes, what I was privileged to see, I fell in love. I can't wait for the book to come out.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Because this is going to be free. It's definitely to die for. The artwork alone, if you missed the beginning of the show, I told Pierre I knew exactly what the inspiration was just by the artwork alone. It's a must-have for any collection. Okay, and I'm just going by what I've seen. I did not read the whole book. I've just had a few hand pages that were just given to me by Pierre himself today, and I was just going by a brief read along that I was given to by our agent. Dude, I'm like super excited for this. And poor Sophia, she got in here just dark because we got all the information rather quick.
I came in blind.
Yeah, and this is just amazing. And we really don't, for a lot of our guests, we don't hype up something like this, but I love this type of genre, and you have to buy this book. Hey, we got to pay some bills really quick. And before Sophia gets to CH Square Collectibles and her segment, we don't have a video tie-in, but we're going to do question of the week. Pierre, you're the guest. You know the format. You're going to answer the question first. Question of the week is brought to you by Alternate Universe LLC, where every Wednesday, like all comic book shops, is New Comic Book Day. Make sure you contact Eric and the guys. They will get your comics to you. They'll mail them flat, okay? If you can't make it to New Haven, you can't make it to Milford, which is our flagship store, they will mail you flat. Just contact them through Instagram, contact them through Facebook, and tell them that they're Angrygeeks approved. You're Angrygeeks approved, and he'll mail you. They got toys, they got statues, they got back issues, they got slab books, and I'm gonna make sure he carries this book because Eric is also a fan. Plus, Eric's a big fan of Iron Maiden, and I'm just gonna tell him that there's a couple Iron Maiden stuff hidden throughout the book, and Eric will buy the book. Anyway, question number 1. If you could be a toy, which would it be? Pierre, if you could be a toy, which would it be?
I could be a toy. Wow. Like a kid's toy or any kind of...
It doesn't matter. If you could be a toy, which would it be?
Sorry.
Sophia, let's not travel back to last week.
Yeah, I watched last week's episode where you guys had some fun with similar question. In my head, I was thinking, like, is somebody going to say it? Is somebody going to say it?
I think they wanted to. I honestly think they wanted to, but they're like,
yeah.
It's bad enough they said they wanted to be Sophia's shirt.
I know.
I thought it was funny.
Like, that's almost worst. But okay.
Didn't bother me. It could have been worse. It could have been like underneath. I'd say Kurt was fine. It could have been worse.
They were cool cats. All right. So, we got comments coming in.
So, toy.
Brother Jeremy says, that's a strange question.
I mean,
all right, wait, that's my brother right there, okay? So, my brother from another mother. The stuff that we talk about, and that's a strange question, come on. And Lauren Mango says, nobody said it. And
nobody said it.
What does Ben say? A what?
Cockkicker? What's that?
I don't want to know. All right, so answer the question, Pierre. If you could be a toy. He doesn't want to say it. Well, go ahead. What toy? If you could be a toy, what would it be? Which would it be?
A single woman's favorite toy.
He went there.
He went there.
You know, like it's 2 weeks in the making at this point, so it had to happen. But
gather together from the cosmic reaches of the universe.
If I'm going with something else,
I'm gonna say my Lone Ranger figure, but okay. So, Sophia,
I would be a trampoline so I can fling people into the air.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Question number 2. Wow. Question number 2. What is your pet thinking right now? What is your pet thinking right now?
Well, I'm gonna bum you guys out because my pet died recently.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Sorry for your loss. It's the worst.
Your trademark is stupidity.
Oh, no, thank you. Oh my
He's
God.
probably thinking he'd like to still be here. We certainly brought that show down right now.
Does he mean Vicodin? That Jeremy.
Wow.
Right.
Okay. Wow, my pet is,
You are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity.
yeah, probably. That's what my pet is thinking right now. Sophia.
My pets are probably thinking, when's the next time you're gonna give me some kitty treats?
Okay.
What? That's what they say.
Nothing. I was nothing.
Stop it. You will get your mind out of the gutter.
Our next segment, we don't have the audio. I guess gotta add it up. But Sophia's segment is brought to you by CH Square Collectibles, 121 Jewett City.
You got
and right inside the Slater Hill Mall. Sophia, it is now time for Quiz with Quinzel. Are you ready?
I'm ready. All right, guys. I'm gonna ask a question, and you have to answer correctly. Okay. Peter Parker lives in a cruddy apartment on what street in New York City?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
No, not that street.
Oh, you got me on this one. I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, out of all the things that I could have retained out of Spider-Man, that was never it.
I know.
Wow.
Sophia, you did good this week. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Is that because I paid you this week?
No.
Wow. Do we get
Like, is it
multiple
the same one
choice?
in the movies? Or was it, did they keep the same?
I would assume it's the same, but then you never know. I don't know.
Because where did he live in the movies? Was he in the...
I think
He was in an
Brooklyn
apartment.
and-
And I know it's Queens,
He wasn't in the
right? It's
Bronx,
Queens.
Queens.
Queen?
Hey, Lord Mango says payment helps.
Yeah, I'm stumped. Like,
Do we have multiple choice?
So
yeah, that would have helped.
I got rid of multiple choice because you said it was too easy. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
I know.
Is
20
it?
Ingram Street, Queens. Is that?
Interesting. What? Maybe it is different on different comics because it's different from me.
Okay, what did you get?
Christie Street? CHRYSTIE.
Christie Street. Wow.
I mean, it's very possible it could be like different. I know in comics and movies and
Jeremy would know. Jeremy is sitting out tonight. Jeremy, where does Peter Parker live? Jeremy would know right off the bat. Wow.
Based
Thank
on
you.
Spider-Man number 157, it was on 7th Avenue.
Did you just Google that?
No, but you can't tell if it's true or not. So it doesn't-
yeah, you have to sound convincing. If you sound convincing, then they'll believe
He
you.
did. The way you just did it was like based off of Spider-Man 157.
Yep.
You just sound extremely convincing. Everybody will buy it because nobody actually knows.
Oh no, Jeremy would come up. Jeremy and I have some weird conversations, and we're always thinking that the CIA is listening to us every day. Every day. Character designs. Each character that you designed for Sunder, and let's talk about the name. Where did the name Sunder come from? And how long did it take you to design each one of the characters, starting with Gus? Zeek. Why did I say Gus?
I
was
don't know.
thinking about Jeremy. I was thinking about Jeremy and his pet that passed away not too long
Gus
ago.
really didn't take long at all.
Yeah.
It was a quick one for Gus. Okay, so first Sunder is it's the word used for I think it's to split atoms or something.
Oh,
I'm not really, I don't remember exactly, but to split asunder, I think it's, and then sunder is kind of like the same thing. It does relate to the bigger storyline. It's like it's a bit crappy, but it's something you'll find out at the very end of it.
so I can't say. No spoiler. No spoilers.
But it does relate to splitting something in half, and I think it has to do with Adam.
Okay.
And then as far as designing the characters, well, Zeek, and I do have a portion in the book where we go through the evolution of Goat Boy. He took, oh my God, probably a good 4 years to get to where he is right now. He went through many, many iterations. Some of them were way more goat-like than what he is right now.
Mm-hmm.
And like it took a while to kind of like settle into it. Imani came pretty quick. I love drawing like big muscly monsters, so that one came pretty quick. Some few design tweaks as I was getting into the doing the book, but that was pretty quick. Mouse as well. And then all the other Moloch was actually he's one that took a little while. He went through a few iterations to kind of get to what I was interested in. Mainly this is like his early unscarred version, but later on in the book, he half of his face is scarred, so like he's missing almost half of his face, and some of the design for that took quite a bit longer. And then the other characters are all like I took a lot of inspiration from a lot of the sketches that I had drawn over the years. Like I've always keep like doodling stuff like that. Like I said, I love drawing monsters and weird creatures and characters like that. So a lot of it, like I went back into my sketchbooks and I looked at the things that I was that I did and things that kind of like popped the most. The abbot is a bear. You can see like in the big shot where Zeek is leaving. That's Porter. Porter was fairly quick because I wanted a big lumbering guy, but I kind of like just kind of mixed and matched a couple of animals to get to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Moloch in his.
I don't believe he showed that one earlier.
No.
I love the shading.
I know I'm torn. I know we're running out of time. I am torn between the black and white and the colors. Pierre,
Right, they both look really good.
This is so beautiful. I cannot wait to read this book.
The more we hear about, see, that's the thing. The main guy in the middle from the previous page, that was the abbot, and he's a big bear. And to me, like,
right here,
there's something really comforting. Although bears are extremely
dangerous.
Yeah, you don't want to get close to a bear because you'll get mauled.
Hey, Sophia, I fight a bear for you, not a grizzly bear or a polar bear. I wouldn't even fight a teddy bear, but a Care Bear, I'll fight one of those for you. I'll fight a teddy bear, a Care Bear.
We've got bears in our area, and they actually come quite close to us. And one of them actually came by and then tried to eat at our compost bin. Oh. And I actually went outside to try to scare him off. I was going to go in my car and just beep to have him go, but he wouldn't have it. Like I just went close. the car was maybe like 5 feet away from the bear, and it was a big black bear. And I just got close. I opened the door, and right away, like he stomped on the ground, and it was just ready to pounce. Like, do not touch my meal. So I backed off. I just let him have it.
You said, I drew you. Look, you're in my
exactly. Come on, buddy.
All right, Pierre.
Where's the hatred?
We are just about out of time. I want to thank you personally for having you on the Angrygeeks show. You're welcome to come back as long as you want to anytime, especially for the first time ever being on a podcast.
So much fun. Thank you guys for having me.
Please tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
Social media, I'm on mostly on Instagram. I post stuff, updates about Sunder all the time over there at Comtois, my last name, like that.
That's how you say your
name. I apologize.
Comtois?
Comtois, yeah. So at Comtois. You can definitely find the book on the Mad Cave website. It's available for pre-order, and please do so because I would really love. So what?
Mango said he pre-ordered.
Oh, we got a pre-order already.
Yay!
Look at that right
Mango.
there.
See, his name's Mango, so he's like
awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Likes the goat.
Look at that.
Yeah, no, please pre-order it. I'd love to continue that and quit my day job.
Yeah, there you go, right there. Make sure.
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, all the same handle. I'll be at Emerald City next weekend, and hopefully some other conventions during the summer, but I'm not too sure yet. But yeah.
But you got to come up here to New England and visit the Angrygeeks and have some fun.
Yeah, I'd love to. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, come to the many cons up here and bring that book. I'm gonna get the book myself because I'm just in love with just what I saw.
Thank you so much.
I need to get that.
Thank you very much.
I need to get that.
You guys are great. Thank you.
No, don't go anywhere. Still hang out. Sophia, please tell everyone where they can find you, your business, your streaming channel, because you're the gamer chick that everyone wants to play with until you kill them. And then tell everyone where they can find us.
Okay, you can find me on all the social media platforms, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram. And you can find us on the same, Angrygeeks, and then angrygeeks.com.
Yeah, and you can find us also on Pod TV. You can find us on your local public access television station. You can find the audio version of this wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. You can find us this week on the road with Brother Jeremy. We're going to be hanging out on Northeast Comic Con on Saturday. Sophia's going to be there all 3 days. Make sure you get that I've been Dingleberry sticker, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have the stickers.
I got ribbons.
Take photos. Yes, if you want photos with Sophia, just come up to us and ask. If you want photos with Sophia and I, just come up and ask. If you want to see Jeremy, just come up and ask and say hi, get pictures with all three of us. Just have some fun. We're going to be there. We're going to be shopping and rocking and rolling and having lots and lots of fun. Make sure you follow Pierre on the social medias, buy his book, and have some fun. We're going to see you guys next week. New platform, no outro, but hey, have fun. God bless you guys. Have fun again, and thank you so much.